agree with him. Joining us now, Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger, one of two Republicans on the January 6th committee. Congressman Kinzinger, I appreciate you being with us as always. The fact that leader Mitch McConnell, Republican leader Mitch McConnell, is backing Senator Rounds, at least off camera, about the 2020 election, is that significant? Is it? I mean, obviously, in normal times, it would just be, okay, yeah, be a normal statement, but you know, these are not normal times.
You know, I guess any vision of, you know, optimism in telling the truth is good.
Yeah, I'm clutching at straws here.
We're
clutching at straws here.
I mean, you know, Mitch McConnell from the beginning, he was one of the first to acknowledge Joe Biden's victory. It's interesting because after the election, I just tweeted something about how Sophie and I congratulate the president-elect, and you'd think I just, you know, offended everybody in the world. Yeah, basic truth is that Joe Biden won the election, and I am glad Senator Mike Rounds said that. We need to encourage that.
Yeah.
But it is utterly crazy that we're here saying that that's a big deal.
I want to play something that Republican lead Senator Lisa Murkowski said recently about the January 6th. Let's listen.
The passage of time can kind of soften things, but the facts still remain the facts. There was an effort. There was a concentrated effort, and we're learning more day by day through this commission. I wish it had been a commission that was wholly sanctioned by the whole Congress rather than just a majority of Democrats. But we're learning more and more that this was a concerted effort to thwart an election.
Now, maybe clutching at straws, but I mean, the fact is the majority of congressional Republicans are not saying what Senator Murkowski is saying. You said there's a truth crisis in the GOP. Can it ever be turned around as long as the former president is still the standard bearer of the party?
Well, I don't think as long as he's the standard bearer, but I think it can be turned around pretty easily, which is just simply, you know, we all occupy titles that have leadership in their name to some level in the description or in the word. And part of that contract we make with people that elect us is, yeah, you got to do things to get elected. You know, you got to win. But at the same time, we also have to lead. And part of leading is telling the truth. Senator Murkowski's great. She always has been. She tells the truth. And she's taken a lot of heat for that. And, you know, for people that claim that basically they're doing this for religious reasons or whatever in terms of trying to overthrow an election, I will remind every one of them that went to Sunday school, one of the first lessons you ever learned was that telling the truth matters no matter what the consequences. Well, everybody knows in the Republican Party that occupy a position like congressman or senator that Donald Trump lost. They know that. But they won't say it, either because they can raise money on the lie or because they're too scared to say the truth, and or you know, any of those they're cowards. But that's the truth. And it's very basic, and a self-governance compact cannot last in this country if truth doesn't exist or doesn't matter.
Can you shed any light on these three new subpoenas, including a former White House official who helped draft the former president's rally speech on January 6th, also two advisors to Donald Trump Jr.? I don't know. I mean, I was surprised he has advisors. But what information is the committee seeking from them? And is there a way to get closer to the former president's thinking that day?
I think so. And, you know, all of this is part of, again, this idea if you have a puzzle and you pull all the pieces out, you don't necessarily know what the picture is until you start putting it together. So every one of these people we're talking to, and particularly this batch of subpoenas, is about what are the pieces of Donald Trump's thinking, of maybe when he was talking about the speech, that we can get so that we can make this broader picture. So are they going to be the silver bullet? Maybe, maybe not. But they can certainly shed light on this broader picture, which is going to be important to present to the American people.
Your colleague, Chairman Benny Thompson, told CNN today that the committee plans to try to seek information from Rudy Giuliani at some point. Would that mean actually calling him to testify?
It certainly could. I mean, obviously, Rudy was in a lot of those conversations. We see in after-the-fact reporting, he was, you know, actively pressing the president on these conspiracies and convincing him and, you know, worming his way into these meetings. So he'll have some information. I fully expect he probably won't be super cooperative, But again, Congress has ways to compel that, and we have ways to ensure that he's telling the truth under oath. But for me, it's been sad to watch, Rudy Giuliani go from being America's mayor after 9/11 to this conspiracy-driven, power-at-any-cost person. And I certainly want to know what's in his thinking and what he knows about the president.
According to the New York Times, though, there's reporting by the New York Times that Vice President Mike Pence is now upset, I guess, about the reports about cooperation of his allies. There's been reporting Mark Short and others around Vice President Pence have cooperated. And do you have any sense of his willingness now to cooperate willingly with the investigation?
Look, all I know is what's been reported, what you said. All indications his team has been cooperative, and it's not like this is necessarily a good on you. Although we can say good for doing it, but the reality is you have to cooperate. I mean, that's the law. The subpoena from Congress, for instance, has the force of law. It's the same as if you got subpoenaed from court. So if the vice president's losing a desire to cooperate, I certainly hope that changes. But we'll get the information we need, and we'll pursue whatever lead we need to pursue.
Thank you so much for joining us. I know, just on a personal note, that you have a new addition to your family coming very soon, any day now, and I just wish you the best to you and your family.
Thank you. I appreciate that.